Do what you want, do what you love.
International University of Management, a Namibian university dedicated to its people's future, a hub of abundant opportunities.
We are IUL for life. We are IUL.
Good evening and welcome to Today on One. I'm Maggie Forciedo. In the news tonight, Windhoek closes down 3 of its cemeteries. Tobias Hanieko residents rebuild demolished shacks. COVID-19 protocols only apply to the poor, says Kanyetu. AFNJ Forum comes to the aid of Angolan immigrants. And Roundup, Business on One, Comments Corner, Sports and the weather. Now for the news in detail. The Commerce Governor delivering the Council's weekly COVID-19 update for the region has raised concern with the capacity of Windhoek's cemeteries, some of which, namely the Old Location Cemetery, Karatura Cemetery and the Commersdal Cemetery, she notes have reached full capacity and have thus been closed, adding the demand for cremations has now increased from 30 to 200 per day. This report from Selma Tapopi.
There is also the issue of the cemeteries. I must also tell the Namibian, especially the Windhoek residents, that there are cemeteries that are completely full and they have been closed for burials. And this is Old Location Cemetery, Katutura Cemetery and Commersdal Cemetery. They are full to capacity, hence they are closed. And cemetery at Ponganda Extension B at least has still got 4,000 spaces, and they are available for those that may want to bury their loved ones there. But Extension A of Ponganda is completely full and it is equally closed. Gamams, which is at Pioneers Park Cemetery, that one at least we still have 5,000 spaces and they are available and is still open. We also have the cremation site. Normally the cremation are in twofold. The first one is working, one of the two is working, and the other one is broken and awaiting some repair. So normally the demand, also this is information that our people needs to get and know, is that the normal demand of cremation per day used to be 30. But now we are getting, the demand has risen to at least 200 per day, and that is a very big hike. So it tells us that we have a demand because the people are succumbing to COVID-19. Hence, we are looking at that the second one get repaired in order for it to actually accommodate that 200 number per day. I know it is just not very easy and possible, but I thought it is wise to be reported that we really are in a backlog of the current situation.
The Commerce Governor also announced that there are now 14 fixed vaccination sites available, which she notes was necessitated to ensure vaccination access for residents in remote areas and in turn bring the region closer to reaching its vaccination target of 286,641.
I'm saying out of that target, we have only vaccinated 57,000. 897. So we have got a long way to go. And now, currently, we have also fixed vaccination sites and one mobile team in Commerce region. All along, we have been only having 4 sites, and that is Lady Pohamba, Windhoek Central, and Rhino Park. They were 4. But now we have added, because we thought it is going to do us a favor and rescue out of the situation that we are in if we increase the vaccination points, having in mind the vastness of the region, looking at the distances our people have to travel from one vaccination point to another, and also being very sympathetic to say if a person who lives in an informal settlement is expected to come to Lady Pohamba's Center for Vaccination, definitely it is not going to be possible because it's equally very costly.
On crime, the Nampo Regional Commander for Commerce notes that there has been a drop in arrests made of individuals defying COVID-19 regulations, further raising concern of the crowding at police stations, mainly for travel permits.
If you go around the different police stations, you also see that every day the police stations are queues and queues of people. And worst about that is also what we see according to our statistics is most of the people that is coming for the receiving of the traveling, it's people that are going for funerals. Yes, people are going for funerals. So that is another question. Why are so many travelers, people going for funerals? So that is something that one must probably look at. How did these people die? Is it COVID related or is it something else? But again, the question is, what is difficult is the number of people that are coming to, whether it's COVID and so on. So that is another question for another day, for another investigation to say why so many people die.
In addition, the hospitalization capacity renovation of the NIP building at Central Hospital has been completed with a bed admission capacity of 46, with another 70-bed admission facility erected near the Windhoek Central Hospital to be commissioned this week.
Win free airtime with #LearnOn1. Share your comments on the lessons. WhatsApp your feedback, name and town to 081 200 6659. #LearnOn1. Invite learning in.
Are you a CMS member? With HospiCash 100, you can get up to 100,000 Namibian dollars cover with a 30,000 limit per event from as little as 100 Namibian dollars a month. We understand that being in hospital can be stressful. That is why with HospiCash 100, you can cover your non-medical expenses by receiving cash payouts when you are in hospital, so you can recover stress-free. Interested? SMS your name and HospiCash to 555 and we will call you back.
What's up, world? This is Shay, the goddess of the airwaves, on 99 FM, Monday to Friday, serving you breakfast on the ignition between 6 and 9. We brought you to be inspired, taking you to master your destiny. Now it's time to do the work.
Just show up.
Put on your work boots and do the time.
Make it, and then make it better.
Hello world, it's your boy Script here on The Kingdom, where we're reminding you every single day.
Get up. You've got this. Start where you are.
Hey, this is your girl Treza on Hitsville on 99 FM, letting you know it's okay.
Try.
Make mistakes.
Ask.
I am Sibo and I'm going to be with you for quite a while. Thank you so much for joining us here on your inspiration station, where we let you know
there's no easy money, there's no easy job, there's no easy life.
99 FM. Do the work.
Win free airtime with One Africa TV. Share your comments on the channel. SMS your feedback. Name and town to 555. One Africa TV. It just gets better.
Despite the mayor of Windhoek, Job Amupanda, assuring inhabitants of Tobias Hanyeku that a decision on the way forward would be made on the 5th of August 2021, the locals have chosen to reconstruct these shacks. According to community activists, people from other areas are also taking advantage of the situation by erecting completely new shacks to rent out. Leston Waller has this report.
The only message I'm sending to the mayor is this. We are not fighting him. Oh, like want to see his failure. No. What we want, because all the mayor that used to become instead of Windhoek, they used to leave history that at least when I leave his term, I have done A, B, C, D. So up to this time, since he entered the offices, yet he's failing even to assist a few communities that has come up with the agreement of calling his assistants to come to us. So the AR has made some promise to people that the mayor will still assist them, but their promise is not fulfilled. It's not fulfilled yet. So at least when people are calling him, it's not like we're calling him to come make a solution, at least to address the community, to understand his way forward with the community. That's the only thing we wanted him to come to us. Sometimes we just need to know, because we are hearing something from other people. We need to know from himself, telling us this is my plan, this is what I want to do from you guys. Give me time of this distance to this distance, so that we understand all within his office.
The leaders of the group whose shacks were demolished by the Windhoek City Police met with the deputy mayor and are dissatisfied with the outcome.
They worship deputy mayor. So on our discussion, we saw that she was not in the mood. She was very angry with us. She told us that we have taken our decision to grab the land. So, and again, it's like it's us who create this chaos, which they are not able to handle anymore in their council. So she told us, if you can be here, she will not provide anything, neither ambulance, neither fire brigade or police. If there's anything around with us, we cannot call the police unless ourselves should go to the police that meet us. So really, it wasn't a good discussion today. It wasn't very good today. So that's why now, what we want from them, they must not just speak in their offices. They must come and look at the ground, see what's on the ground, so that we try to assist all of us, community leaders, with the community, with them. So we try to come up with a solution to solve this matter. So that's what was our appointment to be done today.
Another community activist added that certain members of political parties allegedly told some of the evictees to rebuild their shacks.
We're not here that time. We're at the office of the mayor. So when we came, the people that were saying, come out, the political party that were here, I don't know now whether it's Itula or AR, I cannot verify because they are just saying like that. Then I yesterday, like I watched for AR, the guy was talking about this, when they came here. I did not hear about that one, but maybe I think Itula's part, the one we're talking about, the people they must build, the police cannot come and demolish them anymore. So that's why this chaos came like that. When we arrived here, we reached the information all over Kama. The people, they were told that they must build and must clean. That's why now we are facing problem to the community to tell them that we must stop, we must not build. So because of the some political party that came here, this situation now here as since after demolition. So the people that you see now, they are building because of what the political parties, some political party that came here and address people that no, they will be assisting. There is no one police who can pay. But us ourselves, when we started here, we know. That's why we wanted the city of Windhoek and us, even the city police, to work together so that we can identify the people that in need. Because most things that is happening here, there's people that they already have houses and there are people that are giving us problem here. So when you try like to solve the thing that this plot is not yours because you are having houses, where they are coming that point fingers to the committees, as the committee that we are selling land, but we don't do that.
When asked why they are reconstructing their shacks, residents told Today on One that there are many little children in the area and that it is too cold to sleep outside.
Win free airtime with hashtag #LearnOn1. Share your comments on the lessons. SMS your feedback, name and town to 555. Hashtag #LearnOn1. Invite learning in.
We can't wait to be together again and play until the sun comes up. But until then, let's stay safe.
Man, you can't be anything, you should be everything. Strength provider, the architect of every ring. Experience Penny Young, see the face of God and live.
I pray to God for my enemy. Why you baby, wanna do? Insta baby, Insta baby. Why you lying? Shake what your mama gave ya. Everybody move what your mama gave ya. Everybody shake what your mama gave ya. Everybody move, yet lost fact.
You are now watching the B10 Countdown.
Vincent Kanyetu, the Secretary General of the All People's Party APP, during a recent media event in Rundu, alleged that the COVID-19 protocols are elitist and only apply to the poor. He made the allegations in reference to the recent state funerals that took place in the country. Joseph Ilonga has more.
The Secretary General of the All People's Party has urged the government to take the COVID-19 protocol seriously, claiming that present COVID-19 measures are being violated by lawmakers.
When you are poor, you have to adhere to the protocol. But if you are an honorable, a comrade, a well-connected or a wealthy somebody, you don't comply. We see around here what has been happening. State funerals, only the brass band is more than 10 people. What about the people who are accompanying probably the widow or the family? So the state funerals are attended by more than 10 people and nothing is wrong. But the ordinary poor people's funeral, our family, our relatives, have to be buried by 10 people. How just is that?
Kanyetu also warned that he foresees a popular rebellion by Namibians living in poverty against the ruling class if such actions by the lawmakers continue.
We cannot be a nation that set up regulations for a certain class of citizens. We have to choose whether we want to live with the artificial protocols, as I said, or we have to go back to our normal way of living and continue to lose lives daily, and which is going to affect us as a nation and also affect the economy. So therefore, Dr. Gengo, we are calling upon you and your cabinet ministers to tell this nation whether the protocols you are always announcing only applies to the poor people, not to you, not to your friends, not to your party members, not to your friends, or your former comrades. COVID-19 is real. We see how people are dying around Namibia, all the regions every day. So, if we leaders of this country say that ordinary people is fine, you can gather in a number of 10, then with us, because we are above the law, we can gather as many as we wish, then we are wrong. One day, the poor will start speaking for themselves, and when the poor will start speaking for themselves, they will take whatever they want to take for themselves, and we are not going to be what we are today.
Kanyetu also praised Namibian Police Inspector General Sebastian Detunga for taking prompt action to deploy national security officers at several shopping malls in Windhoek to prevent the potential threats of looting businesses recently made on social media, calling on all 14 regional commanders in the country to follow suit.
The AFNJ Forum has come to the aid of the Angolan immigrants that crossed the borders to come to Namibia because of hunger in their country. The organization visited the immigrants situated in Tobias Hanyeko constituency and provided them with maize meal, tinned fish and blankets. Hendrina Canyola has more.
Community Voices proudly brought to you by Namdeb Diamond Corporation. Good today, better tomorrow.
Immigrants from neighboring Angola recently came to Namibia seeking for food in greener pastures. They were reported in parts of the north and in the capital city. The African Forum National for Justice Association, an organization that is aimed at feeding the masses, lended a helping hand to the immigrants with a few necessities.
O luhepo ilo matu wete penanta chonjara ndeka ila kana tu kaishina ndena ndepa mwe vanu ama tingane sha nta mbidide ikulia tani mwe ngude protika ai katusha no protika ndera kana letu sheshe hangana letu kwa fashuana unene mwilongo yorukadira Afrika ya o ila kana letu kwa fera kehenga ne makuchape mope na nenga nta hama ilo ntani kishike pama ilo ngwe nei inoruhe polo Gashingo rupen bafatu tonga bafendiro lo ikuteri no ikulia na kehenga ne shimwe hacho chika ni tangwa tu kwa fere ya muru mali sha munya muru tangwa mali heto kwa fera ko shifo no netunda ya no tangwa to kihanga to kwa fera mushtukura changora mai muna mami mama erere meme no na uruhamano mate ke kwa fera ku landa madi ya no kuntungira ruma dirimbali do nana posho kunangara mai unano hapunene ya nerera kano nendino tuna hapo la hulira mano otatokora kuihane na kehema tuwete uchapena shwana tashinyengwa.
They visited about 120 families in different locations of Okanja Park, Ongulumbashe A and B, as well as Onkwanangobe, where the immigrants have settled in the Tobias Hanyeko constituency.
Onduete ngone kucha ekemoletu o oluditi kengo ya no hatu pandro wanu Afrika shashi anja neka ekemoletu kembinga nembinga do shilongomboli shashi ama bashi ya pesho pabadengirenge wamona ike kucha oshimu beshimona mo wanu Afrika noko malungula ako vota tukwata fanane ifene nanga tuwetu etelapo ikulia yo banu betu ya hati injirene komahanga makwa wawe dapo no komapangelongo ibatalo shiwana shishiriapa ya ndeke pangero ne nati injire kongo nene nga shonlele okunangalango shashwa maba pima pahana ngalapa opima pashona nai vo nefimbo ilo peife taitinga shiveni ngaho ovapumbwa ngonge no pima peno anu bashona vihadi punene epangela hati injile ngeno litalo no mesho akula mendelelo lo likalengola kufapuwa maba baka kalengwa pataji opotokale hatu banyangelele.
The Tobias Hanyeko councillor applauded the forum and encouraged them to continue assisting others who are in need.
They were not only in Oshana, they are also here in Commerce region, especially in Tobias Hanyeko. Today the AFNG forum visit the 4 houses family. In total, all of them 120 family. In these houses, they dig in their pocket and they got what they got in, and really Tobias Hanyeko is appreciate about this. As you see, we have maize and we have got tinned fish and we have got mask and we have got blanket, all this what they have. Really, it is not everyone to under the heart can give, but only those who have got someone on the heart, those who can give. That's why I'm appreciate and give thanks for you brothers and sisters to dig in your pocket, to offer yourself, to feel that the fellow African people, we must also help them. We must help each other.
Hitilasha said that they are faced with a challenge whereby they are sitting with a lot of food and products that needs to be given to those that are starving. But due to the lockdown restrictions, many are left to be starving while there is food locked up in storage places.
Ndepa ife hangana ndiri no ikulia tu nero maranga letu roroka na re tinga ni mana ijemani ngama fimbo so shiringa ya onkundubutu no ombo kucha o ikulia pira ndera mwiri mu ihapo ndere pa ife ne kenga baita kururuka makwafa ngatu ningi kapena makwafa asha kujame niro shirongo no kujame niro koja koja shirongo na meniro shirongo otuntuete kucha papa tekena hangano tali ndire o media di tondo ke kenga bako nokutara kucha abantu mbano ngeko bahala kuyanji kulia koshwara sifya njara meniro shirongo oshike china kuningwa eka nshera ngapi dinokata kwatafana ne governor opodie kumwe dufano AFNG forama iyanji kulia meniro shirongo.
Hitilasha said the key focus of the forum is to assist those that are in dire need of food or any assistance, and would like both the Angolan and Namibian governments to work together with the forum to make sure they reach out to the masses that are starving to prevent them from scattering around because of hunger.
Community Voices proudly brought to you by Namdeb Diamond Corporation. Good today, better tomorrow.
In a time of uncertainty, false news, and fear, learn on. While the world scrambles to make new sense, while the experts turn around in circles, trying to find their way back to tomorrow, learn on. When classrooms become empty cathedrals and the trees start to bear answers, learn on. Learn on. Until every parent is a teacher and every teacher is a mentor. Learn on until you cross the boundaries of your mind, until you grow eyes and sprout wings. My friend, learn on sidewalks, on the floor, at the neighbors, in the market, in hallways, in churches, under trees, at kitchen tables, in riverbeds. Learning doesn't only happen between four walls. Learning happens in the small space of your enormous, beautiful mind. Start where you are. Use what you have. Learn on one. Invite learning in.
In other leading stories, the Development Bank of Namibia donated 88,000 Namibia dollars worth of medical equipment to the Robert Mugabe Clinic. The equipment consists of a sterilizer machine, 8 mobile hospital curtains, 10 oxygen regulators, and a medicine trolley. The donation adds to prior bank donations of 1.4 million Namibia dollars to manage COVID-19. Speaking at the donation ceremony, Development Bank of Namibia CEO Martin Inkumbi said the bank is an entity that is committed to Namibia in good times and in times of difficulty, such as the COVID-19 pandemic. The bank, he said, wants to contribute to saving lives and preserving people's health. For this reason, DBN decided to support Robert Mugabe Clinic with health equipment and consumables to aid the clinic in assisting those Namibians affected by the virus and seeking health care at the clinic. Speaking about the impact of the donation on Robert Mugabe Clinic's operations, Sister Justina Hamunyela said that like all other COVID-19 facilities in the country, the clinic has been experiencing numerous challenges that include inadequate oxygen regulators and floor meters, oxygen supply, and other medical equipment. She said the donation by the bank came at an opportune time when the clinic is overwhelmed by numerous patients experiencing signs and symptoms consistent with COVID-19 and higher demand for oxygen in the face of the threats of hospitalization and death. And Dundee Precious Metals, Tsumeb and Ohorongo Cement through the Ohorongo Otavi Community Trust partnered to donate 10 hospital beds and installation of oxygen supply points valued at 300,000 Namibia dollars to the Tsumeb District Private Hospital. The Tsumeb District Private Hospital have their own oxygen generating plant. The support provided will also relieve the pressure on the Tsumeb State Hospital, as the private hospital will now assist more patients with a stable supply of oxygen. The donation comes in response to the rapid spread of COVID-19 infections in hopes of reducing the burden on the Namibian medical system and saving the lives of as many people as possible. The private hospital is one of the key medical centers where patients from Otavi and Tsumeb areas as well as employees from both companies are treated.
Namibia is bleeding. Women and children no longer feel safe in the land of their birth. This is not due to war, but due to gender-based violence perpetrated by mostly men. This call is to our fathers, brothers and sons to unite against gender-based violence. Let us come together and say a big no to gender-based violence. Together, we can build a safer and better society for all. My Namibia, my country, my pride.
This is my favorite gear, cause it speaks for me and all my brothers. Nivea Men Black and White Deo. With 5 times Deo action to protect you and your favorite gear from stains. Try Nivea's #1 anti-stain deodorant. Nivea Men, it starts with you.
Let's cross over to Joseph Shifeni for today's edition of Business on One and Economic Indicators.
Thank you for joining us for today's edition of Business on One. I'm your host, Joseph Shifeni. The Bankers Association of Namibia and partners from the banking industry recently introduced a new electronic banking system called NamPay. One of the components of the system is the enhanced collection process that will charge a penalty fee of 1.5% on unpaid debit orders on accounts. The regulation on charges that go up to $200 million were set by the central bank. The NamPay Endo system offers creditors an equal opportunity to collect funds from customer accounts. The debit orders may be deducted in a different order every month. The Chief Executive Officer of the Bankers Association said that consumers should ensure that there are sufficient funds in their accounts to avoid incurring fees.
Regardless of the times when the debit orders are actually presented on that given date, you should ensure that there is sufficient funds in your account, and I will explain now why that is extremely important, to ensure that you pay all your creditors. You would have arranged for them. This has got nothing to do with banks. It's your own life that you are basically leading. And you would have then said that this is the sort of debt that I want to enter into for your own consumption, for that matter. And therefore, in terms of those underlying agreements, you bear the responsibility, not the bank, to pay those creditors on the dates and times that you would have then agreed with them. I think that must be really underscored and really overemphasize. The obligation to pay debit orders does not sit with the bank. The bank simply facilitates payment in terms of this new system that I've just now introduced or explained to you. So it is extremely important for everybody to understand. Once the date comes that you need to pay your debit orders, the safest route is to have money sufficient in your account to make sure that you pay your debit orders as and when they are basically presented. So if the debit order amount that should have been paid is 1,000, you would then take 1.5% of 1,000. That would then be your penalty fee, if I may put it that way. The minimum penalty fee is 39 Namibian dollars in terms of the regulations, and this is not decided by the banks, by the way. These are things that are regulated by the Bank of Namibia. Also to ensure that consumers are better protected. So the misunderstanding that the banks raised fees themselves is devoid of any truth.
Kashairua described the new system as robust and beneficial to the banking community and puts the country's payment system on par with international standards. He assured consumers that the new NamPay electronic funds transfer system remains affordable.
Maximum fee that would then be charged, depending on, of course, the value of the debit order, is now set at 200 Namibian dollars. And that is the maximum as per the Bank of Namibia regulation. So even if the value of the debit order, for example, is, let's say, 30,000 that you did not pay, the 1.5% is basically worked out on smaller amounts, but the maximum capped rate at which you can be charged is 200 Namibian dollars. And I think that, again, that must be emphasized. So you pay anything between 39 Namibian dollars up to 200 Namibian dollars per each debit order that wasn't paid, for example. So it doesn't mean that for all debit orders, if you have 10 debit orders and all of them were not paid, you only pay 200 Namibian dollars and $39. We are saying pay each unpaid, basically on your account. Okay? So that's extremely important for the viewers to really understand. The fees are cheap. They've actually been brought down. They are kept, for that matter. So it doesn't allow any financial institution to simply, at each instance when they represent the same debit order, let's say 10 times on 10 consecutive days, now you incur a fee of, for example, just as an example, $200 times 10. Now we say it is kept to $200. That is seen as the very same incident per debit order that wasn't actually paid, and that is it. So the consumer must then rest assured that banks are working very, very hard to actually bring down, with the bank, together with the Bank of Namibia, to making banking basically affordable to each and every person, and also checking on what the consumers have been complaining about, which is good news as far as I'm concerned.
The Bankers Association was established in 1997 to represent the commercial banking sector in the country. Its members are the First National Bank, Nedbank, Bank Windhoek, Trustco Bank, Bank Big, Letshego, and Standard Bank. Most of the members have already rolled out the new system. That is all we have for you. Join us again next time, and don't forget to follow us on our social media pages.
Now we look at Comments Corner, your daily dose of comments from our social media pages. The Affirmative Repositioning Movement AR has declared victory for transparency, saying that for the first time in the history of Namibia, the Judicial Service Commission will hold public interviews for the shortlisted candidates competing for the Ombudsman position. Matthew says he has confidence in the current Prosecutor General. Philip congratulated the movement on a job well done. While Milton asked, what about the anti-corruption position? And the Onandokwe State Hospital is the main health facility in the Oshakota region and has been facing a depletion of medical oxygen due to the COVID-19 pandemic. The king of the Ondonga Traditional Authority recently donated 20 oxygen concentrators to the hospital worth 360,000 Namibia dollars. Hendrik says the king should keep it up. Simon calls the king a true leader. While Trio wishes the king more blessings, hoping that the Osho County Hospital will also be assisted. That is all from Comments Corner. Be sure to post your comments on our social media pages for broadcast only on Today on One. Time now for today's sports update with Charo Musiandaka.
Welcome to Sports on One. I'm Charo Musiandaka. The MTC Salute Boxing Academy this past weekend shined in neighboring South Africa as they defended the WBO Africa middleweight title and won the vacant WBO Africa flyweight title through young prospect Emmanuel Joseph. Kasro Lumbu has more on this story.
On arrival back on Namibian soil, Frederick Nyolo, an executive member at the stable, showed gratitude towards MTC for the sponsorship and has promised more champions from them in the future.
We are proud this morning to bring before you signs of victory, where Lucas the Demolisher Ndafaluma successfully defended his WBO middleweight title against a very strong opponent. Equally so, Ims Joseph became the new WBO flyweight champion. This is the kind of things we'd like to announce, because MTC, our partner, those are the investments that they want to see, results. Because when they invest their money into our stable, is for us to produce results. And we are again reiterating to our partner that your money and your investment, we are using it for good too. We are putting Namibia's flag on the international arena. And for that, we shall never be, we will always be indebted to your commitment and to your investment. And we thank you very much for that. And we remain true to our slogan of building champions where winning is a goal. The road ahead is going to be tough. We are now champions. The road ahead is going to be planned. The road ahead is going to be very challenging. But with MTC alongside us, we'll make sure that we'll become victorious again.
The Demolisher Ndafaluma battled it out against Angolan Cristiano Dombasi for the WBO Africa middleweight title, which he won against Malawian Simeon Cheta in Windhoek in February earlier this year. The Demolisher was victorious on the night as he defended his title, but has admitted that it was not an easy fight.
Being a first champion of Salute Boxing, Mr. Kirat here he took me in from the ground. You know, he believed in me, he trusted in me when many didn't do. So, and he gave me opportunity. He's a father figure to me, and I'm just proud to be here. So, we went to South Africa to defend my title, as all champions do. So my intention, I'm a man on the mission, and my mission is far. So for me to accomplish my mission is through defending my title, so I can get another big opportunities to become a world champion. And we did it. In South Africa, the fight was tough, but we kept going. And my coach, the whole team, they put their support behind me. They encouraged me. I listened. Then we did the job. So we come out victorious, and we thank God for that. So we are looking forward for bigger things in the near future.
Young hot prospect Emmanuel Joseph also became a champion on the night after 5 rounds when he won the vacant WBO Africa flyweight title against South African Sihle Jelwana. Emmanuel Eames Joseph stood by his word when he took his opponent on the canvas to claim the title.
So we went there. We didn't go there for a vacation, neither for a holiday, but we went there to fight and to take what was on the table. It was a vacant title, WBO Africa flyweight. So I went there to fight Sihle Jelwana. He was in his home ground. Even though he was talking, I was just listening, but I didn't mind him. I just told him once that whatever he's saying is not my business. So we are going to make the talk in the ring. So come Sunday, we went in the ring and I took him to school. So it wasn't easy for me. It wasn't easy, but I made it easy just to stop him in round 5 until I grabbed this.
Thomas Shifiona, who was one of the 3 boxers from the stable to travel to South Africa, also won his fight against Sange Ngoza in a 6-round bout.
Well, that's all we have time for you today. Please follow us tomorrow for more Sports on One, and also don't forget to follow us on our social media pages. Well, back to you, Maggie.
Thank you, Charo, for the latest in sports. Time now for the weather forecast.
Now we'll look at the weather forecast. The interior will be partly cloudy and mild to warm in the Karas and Hardap regions. Elsewhere, sunny and mild to warm. It will be windy in the south. The coast will be partly cloudy and mild to warm, and wind will be light to fresh southwesterly. Now let's have a look at the minimum and maximum temperatures across the country and beyond.
We have come to the end of this evening's edition of Today on One. Catch a repeat at 9:30 this evening and the Omnibus Saturdays from 9 to 4. From me, Maggie Forciero, and the rest of the team, it's good night.
The International University of Management, a Namibian university dedicated to its people's future, a hub of abundant opportunities.
We are IUM for life. We are IUM. Early this morning, woke up holding my head, hearing my heartbeat all night long. Shades of this motel keeping me in bed, reading the news, just trying to stay strong. I need to just get up, take a deep breath, keep it together, 'cause it's a beautiful day. Sun on my face, feeling okay. Don't let it get away. It's a beautiful day. Feel so proud, screaming out loud. It's a beautiful day. Feel so proud, screaming out loud. It's a beautiful day.
Omba Arts Trust is not just an organization for me. I think of it in the form of a person, a mother and a friend I have walked and grew with. A friend whom I've traveled many remote and dusty roads. A sister who provided so much needed support during times of fear and uncertainty. There is a saying in Damara for people such as Omba, which is which simply means someone who will, with love, exchange your lean piece of meat with their fat one. It might sound simple when translated, but when used towards a loved and appreciated person, it gives such honor. It describes a person who will do everything to make sure you are taken care of. Besides, we all know how the Damaras love their meat.
Good. You have to put a bit near the
I have seen Omba grow and turn into a light of hope for Namibians all over Namibia. I have seen women and men grow as individuals, becoming respected members of their communities, but also valuable providers of their families. I have seen people with no hope in their eyes light up when they see Omba arrive to fulfill a promise which was made and which they did not believe will be kept. I have seen women dance and sing for hours until the dust from their feet covers us all because the old friend has arrived. I've seen women standing up in front of a large number of people and express their hopes and dreams. I've seen people who have never left their village travel hours and hours to other countries and share their culture and experiences. I have seen children grow and become young women and men before my very eyes. Omba has been the sister holding hands throughout it all. Omba has built valuable and strong relationship with communities, empowering both women and men, but the impact on women can be seen and felt most sincerely. The work with the women has such a ripple effect all over the whole village, most especially the young. Omba has taught them to fish. As times grow tougher and much more difficult, money becomes scarce. Environment around us changes and nothing will ever be the same again. In times like this is when we realize the value of a friend like Omba. It provides hope, constant support, reliable income, and keeping us all together, keeping our pots filled and our fires burning. A motivation to do better, live better, and expect better. If one day the unthinkable happens and Omba is no more, it will be a sad time for our Namibian rural population. Therefore, let's keep the light burning at all costs.
Ons die Sanmense is die eerste mense in die wêreld wat vandag agter gaan staan. Omba is nou die water wat vir ons nat maak. Dat onze wortels mooi groeien, dat ons vruchten kan brengen, kos kan brengen. Omba gee vir ons werk. En van daaraf lewe ons.
It's just an amazing story that ostrich eggshell beads, 72,000 years ago, the ancestors of the San were making ostrich eggshell beads, and today in the 2020s Jinka women are still making those beads pretty much in the same way, and the work has evolved from fairly traditional products. This probably would have been worn like this into something as sophisticated and contemporary as this necklace from the waterfall range. So here we are bringing the necklace to this gallery in Windhoek, and it then gets sold to customers in Europe, in America, and generating income for women, Jinka women back in the Kalahari. So it's just an amazing thread of history that goes to this ostrich egg, to this contemporary jewelry. This basket I absolutely love. It's a finely woven basket in natural dyes. This asymmetry is very unique to Namibian baskets, and we've been working with these women, doing workshops and helping them evolve into these incredibly fine baskets. We've worked with the women developing different palettes, and there's another one with a slightly more yellow palette, but considered are the best baskets in Africa. What we're showing you in this short video is really a long journey of working together with rural communities, reviving ancient traditions, turning them into contemporary world-class products, and supporting the livelihoods of over 400 artisans. Even during COVID-19, we've been helping our sand communities with food and distribution of tibi taps. What we need to do now is to honour the trust that has been put in us over the last 30 years, to support marginalised sand communities and the livelihoods of rural women around Namibia. Your donation will help us get our 400 artisans back to work as soon as possible so that they can feed their families. The lives of their 2,000 family members will directly benefit from this. Please help us raise $50,000 by contributing to the Omba Artisan C19 Support Fund. No matter how big or small, this will make a difference in the lives of our artisans during COVID-19. Thank you.